So you have a credit repair and funding company as well as a social media platform, no matter if it's 1,000 followers, 500, 10,000, 20, 30, 40,000, whatever the case may be. I'm going to show you exactly how you can scale your business to multiple 5-figure months doing little to no work. And this is the same exact system. Not only that helped me scale my business to 53K in the span of 30 days. As you can see, the month of October, for this day specifically, I collected $1,000 with 53,000 collected on that specific month. That also helped our guy Avon scale his credit repair and funding business to 6 figures in the span of 8 months. That helped one of our top dogs in the community as well, Rob, collect $120,000 in the span of 90 days using the same exact system, right? Kimon, as you can see, finished with 13,000 cash collected in the span of a week. That's 7 days. And within that month, he finished with $30,000. And here's screenshots. Here's his social media platform. Here's Rob platform. Here's my platform, right? So none of us have K's in our on our Instagram social media profiles, right? But it doesn't matter because we're in a need-based market. No matter if you have good credit, you have bad credit, you can benefit from you as a business owner. At the end of the day, we can get people funding to start their business, to invest, to bring in more cash flow. We can help people fix their credit to put them in cars, homes, whatever the case may be. I don't want to go too much in depth to that. You already know what you can do and how much people can capitalize off you being a business owner and you being able to help them at the end of the day. But it's going to start with the marketing, which is the front end. And I'm going to go over the exact system A through Z. It's going to start with the marketing and it's going to end with the back end in the fulfillment system, which is key and a necessity, right? But if you don't have a front end, let's say hypothetically, you have a front end, but you don't have a back end, right? Your business is flawed. At the end of the day, you can't scale that. Let's say if you have a back end but no front end, you can't even bring in clients or you can't even bring in acquisition to then fulfill or go through that fulfillment on the back end. So I'm gonna go over the exact system that helped me, Avon, Rob, Kimon scale our business to multiple 5 figures in a span of 30 days, right? So to start off everything, you have the front end, right? We're bringing in these leads. We're running paid advertisement. Mind you, yes, you have referrals. Yes, you have affiliates, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you can't control your market. Being in this specific market or niche, you have to be able to control your market no matter what business you're in. Really, if you want to scale to multiple 5 to 6 figure months, you have to be able to control your market, because without that, you're a liability to your business, right? So to bring in clients here, to bring in leads, to bring in new eyeballs on a day-to-day basis, we do paid advertisement, right? And we're bringing in one eyeball anywhere from 25 to 60 cents. Or if we're running a message campaign, we're bringing in those, those leads anywhere, I would say from $1.50 to $3 to either get a conversation started or to get, a new eyeball, a new follower, I would say, right? Because without any eyeballs on your business on a day-to-day basis, you're going to be running in place no matter how much fulfillment you have, no matter how much you add to your business. If you don't have new eyeballs on your business, you're going to be running in place. I can promise you. I went through it myself, right? So we run it with the top of the funnel traffic mechanism, which bringing in cold traffic. As you see, we're running follower ads. Sometimes we do run DM ads to start off, but it depends on your position, right? I realized follower ads or traffic ads, you're going to maximize off of these leads at the lowest cost compared to, let's say, DM ads. You have to spend, let's say, $100 a day, $200 a day if you really want to scale it at a fast pace. But it all depends on your liquidity and capital, right? But for the most part, to capitalize off everything at the lowest cost, we do run follower ads, right? Which then they come to our middle of the funnel. And your middle of the funnel is going to be the bread and butter. It's going to be what is going to convert, what is going to nurture these leads into then buying at a higher price, $750 to anywhere, let's say $2,000, $2,500 for credit repair. And I'm talking credit repair. I'm not even talking funding. That's specifically credit repair. We want to bring in high quality clients, and your middle of the funnel is going to do so, right? We're 5 minutes into this video and you're still watching. You're in my middle of the funnel at the moment. And the reason I say that is because I'm showing you exactly not only how you're in the funnel itself that you're looking at, but also how other people are going to be in the funnel for your business, right? So the bottom of the funnel would then be retargeting ads. It's going to be messaging or DM ads to where people are going to then DM you, or it's going to be direct offer ads to where you're automatically sending them to a link, right? I know some people like to run a monthly recurring model of $97 a month. I've helped people scale that business to the highest I've done so far was 8K in the span of 30 days using this exact sequence. So it does work. And as you can see, boom, $750 payouts, $97 payouts for the monthly reoccurring service, $1250, cash collected for credit repair clients. And as you can see, this is just within the span of a day, $4,000, almost $4,000 going into my bank account in the span of a day, right? So it's all going to start with the follower ads, which is the top of the funnel, and then we're going to convert them to the middle of the funnel, which is going to be your Instagram page, your YouTube page, which you're currently watching right now, and then the bottom of the funnel will be, them coming to your DMs and them DM you and reaching out, rather if it's going to be outbound or off a ad you're running towards. Then, like I said before, they're going to be converted. Now, the backend fulfillment system, this is a necessity because you can have the perfect marketing out there, but if you're bringing in clients and their experience is poor, your marketing, your business, not even your market, but your business is going to slowly start to decrease. And I've been at the top with marketing, and I've been at the bottom with fulfillment. I've been at the top with fulfillment and the bottom with marketing, but I realized you're going to need both if you really want to scale where you want to go, right? So the onboarding mechanism, after a client submits payment, I don't touch anything. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth in a second, but I'm letting you guys know once, let's say for example, right, for all my credit repair clients, whenever they submit that payment, I don't lift a finger. I have automations, I have systems, and I have teams in place that take care of that for me, so I don't have to do anything. And if you can't run your business at that level, you're not going to be able to scale. You cannot be marketing, hopping on sales calls all day, 8 hours. Let's say if you have a packed out calendar, 15, 20 calls, right? Let's say they're all 30 minutes, whatever the case may be, however you want to run your calls, 10 minutes, But yeah, you have a packed out call. You don't have time to be mailing out letters. You don't have time to be looking up disputing methods or whatever the case may be. Delegation is a necessity. Systems is a necessity. And on top of that, you're going to need to be in front of all of your clients' faces multiple times in a month. So let's say you scale your business, or let's say you close 100 clients in a month. Hypothetically, that's just a broad number, right? You need to be in front of their faces at least 3 times within a span of 30 days. So you're going to have to send out another 300 messages to those 100 clients, in the span of 30 days, which you don't have time for because you won't be able to bring in new clients because you're still focused on everything else, right? So the backend fulfillment system, right? So the first step is going to be automated onboarding, which is your onboarding mechanism, which is going to be through CRM, whatever the case may be. If you don't have one, you need one. I will make sure I go over that for you as well. But the fulfillment mechanism, plug and play, backend team, disputing methods, mechanisms, whatever the case may be in regards to disputing is going to be a necessity, right? And then lastly, at that backend side of things is going to be your delivery and tracking with your current clients and also your new clients, to where you're tracking their progress. They're getting updates automatically to where you don't have to make sure that client reinsurance is there. That's especially in the credit space. Reinsurance is major. I promise you, if we're in such a need-based market, we can bring in 1 million clients, but if the reinsurance is poor, you're going to have a bad experience. And I'm pretty sure you've experienced that yourself, with dealing with headache clients or whatever the case may be, is because the reinsurance on those clients isn't where it need to be, or you're just bringing in low quality clients. And that's what it can be as well, right? So then, as you can see, the results are flying in, and that's another reason I say the fulfillment needs to be there, as in the reinsurance side of things, because credit repair takes time. Funding takes time. You're not going to sit there and jump from a 400 credit score to a 700 in the span of 30 days. Yes, it's doable. Yes, I've done it. You've probably done it as well. But the odds of that consistently happening is rare. You're a business owner. You know that credit repair takes anywhere from 90 to 120 days on average. And the longest I personally had someone enrolled in my program was 7 months exactly, right? And it's because the repair process does take time. So you have to make sure that you're giving these clients reinsurance throughout their whole process, right? So now I really want to go in detail with this whole system and sequence, because I know I just went over a lot, the front end and going to the back end, but I want to go over everything brick by brick, piece by piece, right? So let's dive into it, right? So the top of the funnel, which makes everything. You're going to have a personal brand, and then you're going to have a brand. So a lot of people get the two confused. They think it's the same thing, honestly, but it's the same thing, but it's not. It's kind of contradicting. Let's take somebody like Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, he owns Tesla and he owns X. Let's say X, for example, right? Those are his brands. That's his brand, right? But Elon Musk himself is a personal brand. So you're looking at my Instagram profile. You probably came off my Instagram page. That is my personal brand. I repeat, that's my personal brand. Now, my credit repair and funding company Instagram page, that's my brand. So your personal brand and your brand are two totally different things. And the beauty about the two is you can market from wherever. wherever you want, right? If it's your personal brand or if it's your brand itself, you can market from wherever you want to, right? So they're coming in off our personal brand, which they're then going to our brand, and they're getting hit with video ads, they're getting hit with story ads, and they're getting hit with carousel ads, which are different types of slideshows, right? To which they're all going to the same place. They're all going to the Instagram profile, right? If it's your personal brand profile, which is your main account or whatever you want to call it, or if it's your business account, or if your business, your business page, they're going to get sent to your profile with our marketing strategies, right? To which then you have to have your bio optimized, because your bio is going to be everything. I'm pretty sure you're clicking on this video from my bio, say the least. I'm gonna use that as an example again. You guys are gonna hear me use that example multiple times throughout this video. Right, but they're going to see your bio, they're going to see your highlights, they're going to see your short form content, and it's all going to funnel them to the long form content. Exactly. Just how you're watching this video. It's going to funnel them to the long form content, and that's where you qualify your leads. In that long form video, right, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30, an hour, that's where you're going to filter out the low quality leads to the high quality, high paying clients. That's what your long form content is for, right? To where then you're gonna have it optimized to where they're gonna get hit with retargeting ads, right? Because they're qualified leads. We want to make sure we stay in front of these people's faces as much as possible. They're high quality leads, right? So they're gonna get hit with retargeting ads. If you don't know what retargeting ads is, let's say for example, if you watch my Instagram ad and you sent me a DM, I then can run a retargeting ad to interact or push a ad out to everybody that has interacted with my business page, right? If they sent me a DM, they gave me a follow, comment, like, whatever the case may be, I'm only gonna push ads out to those specific people, right? So we're gonna run retargeting ads to where those specific people that already watched this piece of long form content, they're gonna become hot inbound leads. So they're gonna be reaching out to me personally. Or we can, get them on a little engagement to where they're coming back to the profile. And then that's when we can run a warm, something I like to call warm outbound, to where I'm reaching out to those high quality leads, right? And at the end of the day, they're all going to lead to a conversation. And within that conversation, you want to send them a value asset. I know a lot of people have a misconception of how the business may work. Yeah, somebody, or you get a follow, I'll reach to them ASAP, right? And then book that call. No, you're sounding salesy, and that's what's gonna scare these leads or these potential clients away, is you sounding so salesy. Like, nobody just wants to, hey, how you doing, Bob? Let's jump on a call to see if this is fit for you. No. Send them a value asset so they're gaining some type of value. You run a credit repair and funding business, right? You can send them a video of your whole breakdown on how credit is holding them back, and on top of that, what you can do to benefit them, right? So where now they see the value in you. They have a broken down perspective for free, right? It's free, right? So where then obviously you're going to follow up with them, and that value asset is going to be your lead magnet, which then that brings it to the sales call, to where, let's say if they don't close, you then have multiple follow-up sequences for a second call. If they didn't book that call fully, you can follow up with them again. But for the most part, they're going to hop on that sales call, and your show up rate is going to be immaculate, to where then you're going to be closing on anywhere from, what I like to say, the sweet spot I've seen is anywhere from $750 to $2,000 for credit repair itself. Funding is a different ballgame. Funding is a completely different ballgame. You and I both know that you can make anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 off one client for funding. Like, it's so much opportunity in the funding play itself. The most I've capitalized off of within the last, I think, 30 days was about $25K off of one client. One of my guys, Abdul, and then he ended up referring about 4 to 5 people for repair, and he's still constantly referring people, so that's the offer. So once your business should be set up to where once you send this payment link, once your offer is up and it's closed, so once that payment link is sent, you shouldn't be touching anything. And I'm going to show you exactly what do I mean by that, right? Why you shouldn't be touching anything. And it's not as if, I'm just collecting money and scamming. No, I'm going to show you exactly how to automate your business after the payment link, which is essential. So you can keep just closing deals and collecting payment. You don't do any more work but hop on sales calls. You can run a $25,000, $30,000 a month. You don't have to hop on calls that next month. You just came off with $30,000 a month. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can alternate it to where you're only working for 6 months out of a year, and you're collecting 200, 300K within the span of 6 months. Imagine if you went full time 12 months a year. So boom, once that payment link is sent, that's when they're then going to get put in your post-payment funnel, right? So what is your post-payment funnel going to include? It's going to include a video, right? Explaining the whole process, what it's going to consist of, what to expect, how it's going to go. A lot of people collect payment and get them enrolled in repair, and then the client 2 weeks later is reaching out to them, hey, yeah, I don't see any results. That's exactly how you create headache clients, and that's not what we want over here. I haven't had a headache client since I actually first started my business, to where I was bringing in clients for free. You know, it's part of the game. We all got to start somewhere. So not only you should have a video, it doesn't have to be long. It can be anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. You can do 3 at most. But on top of that, you want to have your agreement form in there. You're going to have a link for your agreement form, to where also you're going to have a link for your credit monitoring service, because credit monitoring is a necessity. If you don't have credit monitoring, you're not utilizing it for your clients, then I'm gonna be honest with you, your business is flawed. You can't scale that at the moment, right? So for my clients, as of right now, after I send them the payment link, it automatically takes them to the post-payment funnel, right? To where the expectation with that video of everything that's going to happen throughout the process is going to be there. They have a link for the agreement form specifically, where they're going to upload the information. It's going to go towards my backend team, and on top of that, they have to fill out and join, or I said join, sign up for the credit monitoring service, which is about $29.99 a month. You know, $24, $25 depending on what you use, to where you're using that to process their disputes, right? So once all this is complete, all the information, all their credit monitoring logins and everything, which is on that agreement form, you know, it's going towards my backend team, right? So for all the other CEOs that I have, Avon, you know, Rob, Kimon, all the other guys in the community, their process is the exact same way, right? So once all that information goes to the backend team, that's when the team gets notified. The client gets notified that their file is being processed, and then the client info and status of each file, or of their file, is going into all of our databases. We operate out of 3 essential databases. You know, you have Go High Level, you have Notion, and you have Slack, right? So we're operating out of 3 different databases, and once they hit that submit form for this agreement form, or I said submit form, once they hit that submit button on this agreement form, that's when they're then going to get notified, right? And then what this does, it builds clarity and reassurance for not only you as a business owner, not only for the client who just paid you, you know, $700 to $2,000 for credit repair, but on top of that, for your team as well, right? It's organization for all parties, reassurance and clarity for all parties, right? To where now the disputes get sent out. That specific client, let's say John Doe jumped on board. John Doe went through the whole process. His disputes get sent out. He's getting notified that the disputes got sent out right after it did. As soon as me and my team hit send for that specific client, he would get notified. John Doe would get notified. So 15 days into each round, so really 14 days after his disputes get sent out, he's getting another text, right? What is that text saying? Hey, John Doe, you're 14 days into the disputing process. I hope all is well. You know, just let me know if you have any questions. Why so simple? Why so simple? I'm gonna let you know, you don't want to overcomplicate it. The only thing that should be in your mind, or in this client's mind, is he going to reach out to me, and when should I reach out to him? And the reason I have it as 15 days as well is because going through the repair process, on that 15 day specifically, they're going to either get letters in the mail, they're going to see changes on Credit Karma, or they're going to be getting different emails, you know, from the credit bureaus or whatever the case may be, throughout the disputing process. So they're going to see some type of work being done, whether if it's a point increase, a point decrease, or if it's a letter or email. They're going to see something. So I know on that 15th day, they have something to upload into their portal, right? So not only does that build reinsurance, but it also builds clarification. Letters and results start coming in, boom. And if they have any questions or concern, they're going to upload it into the portal, and they're going to interact with not me, but the customer service team, which is a necessity. And then the third time we're going to be getting in contact with them is on that re-import, on the day that re-import is supposed to be generated, which is on the 30th day, which they will then see an overview of what got deleted, what hasn't, the point increase, the point decrease, whatever the case may be. They're going to see that, right? And then the team, or what your team should be doing, is sending them exactly what happened and what they should do on their behalf within the next 30 days, right? So let's say hypothetically, let's say John Doe gets his re-import on the 30th day. He see, oh, wow, my score went up 100 points. I'm now in the 650s. I'm gonna go apply for a credit card. No, that's how we prevent that, because it's gonna mess up the credit repair process, right? So whenever that re-import is generated, you want to get your team in contact with that specific client, not only telling them what happened, but what they should do within the next 30 days, right? If it's pay down a card so they can see a bigger point increase next round, or if it's don't apply for anything, whatever the case may be, your team should be giving them exact blueprint on what to follow every 30 days on that 30th day, which that re-import should be generated, right? So within a span of 3 to 4 months on average, most of my clients personally graduate our program. That comes with a client testimonial and B, referrals, right? And the reason I have referrals up here, or I said up here, but on the back end side of things instead of on the front end, is because referrals you can't control the volume of. Referrals is something that you can't book them every day and say, hey, yeah, I want to get a referral, I'm gonna go get a referral. That's not how that works. Referrals is random, right? It's random. It's not something you can rely on every day to scale your business. Yeah, and I came across so many people that done 10K, 20K in a month off referrals. But where does that referral start from? One specific person or a client, right? Which then, if you know you got a client testimonial and they sent referrals, you got a happy client. So now that's where the upsell comes into place. Me personally, I capitalize off my client, I want to say anywhere 7 to 8 times off my credit repair clients specifically, right? You have credit repair, you have credit build out, you got personal funding, you got business funding, you got trade lines, LLC creation. Like, it's so many different things. You guys need to create a value ladder if you don't have one, right? To where now, once they get enrolled through that credit build out, which is then an upsell, because they know I'm good business. They know I can produce what they need in order to get where they want to go or what they want specifically, right? So now they're in the 700 club. Now you get those auto loan approvals, high limit credit card approvals, home approvals / apartments, to where now you have another upsell, which can be business funding or other types of investments, right? Rather if it's, referring somebody, or let's say if you hypothetically, you do, let's say real estate, or you do Airbnb or car rentals, whatever the case may be, that's 2 upsells in one. Right? So you're capitalizing off of these clients as much as possible. So if you don't have a value ladder, you need to create one. And that's the exact system that not only scaled Avon to multiple 5 months and 6 figures in 8 months, right? Getting $100,000 or a 6-figure earner, because he cracked 100,000 and I want to say 60 days after that. I don't know how he did it. It's crazy. He ended up popping off 200,000, right? To where, Rob himself, I got credit by Rob. He ended up cracking 120,000 cash collected in the span of 90 days, which is 3 months. So January to March, the end of March, he ended up collecting, that's just the time frame I'm giving you guys, but he ended up collecting $120,000, and the same exact system Kimon used to collect $30,000 in the span of a month, not putting a finger on client disputes, client satisfaction, which is customer service, or reinsurance, whatever the case may be. Systems, automation, and delegation is something that you need in your business if you want to get it to that next level. And if you don't have it, not just in your credit repair business or any other type of business that you have, you won't be able to scale it to multiple 5 to 6 figures a month. It's just not possible, and I'm letting you know that now. And if it is possible, you're going to be stressed mentally. Every time I close a credit repair client, I'm saying 1,000 times, I don't lay a finger on anything. The fulfillment is there. I have happy clients that call me damn near every other week, just telling me about how, their process has been A1. They've seen this type of result, X amount of results, right? You have to make sure your business is on point from A to Z if you want to exit out of there. If your business can't run without you, you're not running a real business. That was my problem starting out. And if you're ready to scale your business to multiple 5 to 6 figures in a month, I'm talking about in a month, doing little to no work, all you have to do is close the deal. That's all you have to do. If you want to run your business like that, have your business operate on this level, in this aspect, hit this link below, book a call, and we will reach out to you personally, hop on a call, and show you exactly what we can do to fix your business in order for it to run automated without you physically being in your business 24/7.